Okay, so today I'm going to prepare a map for my sci-fi game, and the ship that I want to build is called the SSV Iwo Jima. So I pulled up the entry for it just so I can see if there's anything special about this one compared to any other starships, and I'll note everything down now into my sketch, I would say, and then from there I will turn it into a real map. If you have any questions, just feel free to write them in the chat. I'll occasionally check over, but don't expect me to answer straight away. Okay, so let us begin. So I've already read through this text, and sadly it doesn't really say anything about how exactly a human frigate would be set up. So I just checked out some other frigates, and well, the main ship of Mass Effect is a frigate, so that makes it very easy. I can just take that one as my template and then adjust anything that I need, definitely on the SSV Iwo Jima. So now what do we have here? We have a command deck, we have quarters, okay. Command deck also has comm systems. Then, oh, I should of course put my microphone in front of my mouth so you can actually hear me. That would probably help. There we go. Then a lot of unimportant things. Well, the escape pods. Then we have the quarters with a living room, kitchen, captain's cabin, medical room, lab and storage room. That one will also be the prison for the person that I need to free. And I might as well note down in the medical room Medi-Gel dispenser. And then something that I need for what I'm setting up will be some cells. And I need to look up, they are made out of a special metal. I don't remember back to the very first session that I've run. There is a metal that stops people with telekinesis and so on. How are those abilities called in Traveler? From using the abilities. So I'll basically make sure that those cells are not made of it. Yeah, I'll figure that out later, but I basically need to use different metal for that, so they can't break out. Okay, there are some lockers as well, so I'm going to give it a locker room. And I'm going to say to get from that this will be level 1 and this will be level 2, and there will be an elevator to get between the two. That is a pretty good setup if you want to set up an ambush for your players to run into. You can say, oh yeah, you can go down, but be careful because this is where you're going to be attacked. So it's not a terrible idea. And then on the third level, you can have engineering, the power core, and maybe, how was it called, the Nomad? So basically the room where they store their driving vehicle, whatever, will be something that I need. And I think that's pretty much everything that I need from there. Now I've also pulled up the Normandy 2 just to see if there's anything else I would like to add. Captain's cabin we already have, which I think I will keep on level 2. Okay. Nothing really that shouts at me, "Ooh, get me, I want it." Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Armory will be on the level 3 or 2. Put it on level 3. Engineering has the core, there's the hangar, UI systems. Oh yeah, that's actually not a bad one to put inside. The AI core that controls the entire thing. Okay, and that's pretty much everything that I need. And then I'll go for a 3-layer setup. What I'll do is, oh god damn it, there we go. I'll set this to 4-ish. That looks pretty good. And then I can set up my place. So now I like to design spaceships from the front to the back, if at all possible. So I'll have the command deck here, and we can have the escape pods to the side of it, because why the hell not? Then the players need some way of getting in, so I'm going to give them here an entry and there an entry. And yes, if you already know about Mass Effect, the layout will be kept very similar, because why not? Don't ever do work that you don't have to do. So we need an elevator, which I'm going to put through here, and then the elevator will be like this. And lastly, we want the comm room. And now something that I like to do is, I already think about how the ship is set up at this stage, and usually the middle section is the largest one, while the top and the bottom sections are smaller or at a different position. So I like to copy this over and then just fill it out with yellow squares, so I already know what size I'm working with for putting everything down. And what I also like to do is keep the elevator at the same position. So I'm going to do just that. That is now my elevator. And then we can see what we do with the rest of the space. Now, we want the quarters, which I'll just set up over here. It's one of the larger rooms. and the locker rooms can be right next to it. And usually quarters and locker rooms should have a connection, so you can immediately grab your equipment when you need it. Since most of the time when you need medical attention, you want it immediately, the natural place to put the medical room is right next to where the elevator is. So I'm going to do just that. And let me write this also down. Skateboards, okay. Then the kitchen, the living room can be just over here, sharing the space. So actually, let's make this one larger and this one smaller, because the kitchen doesn't need as much space as the living room. And then what else do we have? We still have the lab and the cells. Now, the cells should be as far away of everything as possible, so I might actually put the cells down here, and then to get to them, you either need to go through okay, let's put the cells up here. Put the locker room here. Put my lab down there. Lab down there, and then which one was the last one? Yes, the quarters. That was what I was looking for. So now to get to the cells, they will either have to go through the quarters or the locker room, and the quarters still have a pretty quick access to the locker room, so the continuity is kind of upheld, which is something that you want to do. And then we have this one left. Now, since it kind of makes no sense whatsoever that the captain's cabin would be right the first thing that you walk into when you come out of an elevator, I'm going to reshuffle this. I will move everything one up. We'll make this the captain's cabin. Make this larger by quite a considerable amount. And then have a really large living room here. Okay. And then we take the same layout again. Copy it down. Get rid of all the labeling. Now I'm going to make the hangar really, really large, because you need to store a driving vehicle in there. Actually, I will make it even larger. Or what I'll do is I'll move this over and I'll move this to here, so we can have the power core right at the end of everything. And this here will be the hangar or nomad room. And then we can have the armory and the AI core right over here. And then this room we can just get rid of. And this is how quickly I make a sketch. I always like to have sketches first, so I know where everything is, if all the sizes are about right, if everything makes sense when it comes to where the location within the ship is. So this is always one of the first things that I do. And then I'll mark everything with walls. Now this is, in my opinion, a really important step, because it really helps you with figuring out where everything is located and how large the sizes need to be. If you don't do this step, well, good luck trying to see everything. But you can probably make it without it, but I really like to have these. Now, since this is a spaceship, I don't really feel like putting any hidden rooms in there. It doesn't really make all that much sense that there would be hidden rooms. But in a normal map, like a D&D map, I would try to hide a room. Preferable space would be obviously here because people or might remember from the above rooms, oh, there was something there. But what I might do is that in the captain's cabin they can find a rare weapon, or I don't know, in the kitchen they can find some supplies, something like that. And let me also define a small area of storage down here. So let's finish this one up. Shouldn't take too long. Yes, and I left two entrances there because I felt like it. Sometimes it's nice for people to have options, even though in the end it just leads to the same room. Don't feel too bad about it. And with that done, I have my sketch that I would like for my map. So we'll move on to Tart. Resources. Oh wait, no. Map tools, tiled. Tile sets. So this is usually the space where I figure out which tile set would be the most appropriate for this map. Now I really like this one, and I've used it for quite a lot of maps. But if I have I think I got a new sci-fi one out of sale from, oh, how is it called? The RPG Maker had a new one. So in emergency cases, if I really need to use these, I can also resize them and I can mix them, because right now all of those are in 32 by 32 and I actually like them in 48 by 48. So there we go. Yeah, I think this is the new one that I've got. But I'm not too happy with that one. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. Oh, that one is fancy. I might actually go with this one. That one is probably 32 or 32. Yep. So that shouldn't be a problem then. Oh yeah, and I can really nicely put this together with sci-fi tiles A4. So I think that will be the one, and I'll grab this one for the com room. So yeah, I think it's shaping up. I think this is the consoles and everything that I want, so I actually have a nice selection now. Great. Yes, so I will go with the sci-fi tiles, which are appropriately named. So I'll start with a new map. This is now a decision that you need to make for yourself. So you can either split this entire region up. That was not what I wanted to do. Split this entire region up into 3 maps, or have just one map and let all of them walk on one map. I like one maps more. It's easier to set up for me, so I'll just keep it. And it's 40 rows by 28 columns. So I'll do double that, so 80 by 56. 80 by 56. So 80 by 56. And the width, we'll go with 16 by 16. We want orthogonal for top down, CSV, format is right, and the render order is right. This one doesn't do anything for us because this will only take effect if you use it in a software. Okay. A software for making indie games, that is. And then let's save this as the SSV Iwo Jima. What was the name? Iwo Jima, yeah. And we have our map here, and let's load the first tile set. So it was in space, and it was called Sci-Fi Tiles, and it was Sci-Fi Tiles 2. So you can give it its own name, otherwise it just takes the default name of the map or of the file, but as you can see, Sci-Fi Tiles A2 is a rather long name, so I would like to avoid that if I can. So I'll just do it by hand, embedded map. And as you can see, it automatically splits them for you, so each tile is already the way you want it. Now, embedded map, browse, sci-fi, A5 we have. Where were those neat consoles? I'll go back to this and check. So this one, yes, that's the one. So sci-fi tiles B, sci-fi tiles B, and I'll call it consoles because that will be the main one that I will pull from there. And then we'll see if I need anything else. But for now, that should be good enough. So the way I start is I count. This is a sci-fi map, so let's see if we have any kind of black background. If not, it's not too bothersome. We can work without it. And then we just count. So 1, 2, 3. It's nothing, so we'll do, I think those tiles looked rather fancy. So 1, 2, 3 is nothing. 1, 2, 3 is nothing, and then the one below has the wall. Okay. And then these tiles, I think are center tiles. No, these tiles are center tiles. So I'm going to put those ones down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually the very first one that is set down is the most difficult one. Everything that comes after that is a lot easier. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then 1 empty and 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1 empty, 1, 2, 3. Empty, 1, 2, 3. 2. Yep, that's fine. And then we have 1, 2, 3 below. 1, 2, 3. And once you set something like this up, you can just right click to copy it and move on ahead to have even more space covered. So this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What? Oh, haha. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and then the last row is too much, so we get rid of that one. So get rid of this one, no longer needed. And then we can just copy those ones in its entirety and do following. So we have basically the command deck finished, apart from the entries, which are coming up now. And that is this part mostly done. I'll add the walls at a later stage. For now, I just like to have all my rooms finished. So let us continue ahead. So that's 1, and then we need, oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So up. And that goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then we continue on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this was already one too much, but it doesn't matter. We can just expand it like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, we need the elevator, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is already that first part done. And we move on ahead. So now would be a decent time to at least do some of the walls if you want to finish up the first part. Otherwise, you'll just need to count. I'm going to use those ones again, or maybe even those black ones. So I definitely know this is not from me, to have enough distance between the different places. So that was 1, 2, 3 below this escape room or escape pod. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Okay, so let's copy this from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. That one is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 5. So we can just copy it like this and set it right below. That one is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's same as this one, but with one less combination here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we copy it from here, put it down there. And then we have the living room, which is the lastest one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 again. So I'll do this and I'll do that. We have the living room done. The kitchen is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3. So copy this, paste it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then we have this one last 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll move 1, 2 over, and have the cabins, the captain's cabin done as well. That's 4 high, so it's actually exactly what we have. But the elevator should be at the same position, so it needs to be over here. 1, 1, 2. Oh wait, is it just above the captain's? Ah, okay, it's just above here. So it aligns with this one, and it needs to be the same length. Perfect. And then we just do the connections of all the rooms. Bop, 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 bop. Now, since this is built by humans, or at least humanoids, who are hopefully at least somewhat smart, you would expect that all of their doors and so on align perfectly. If it's something like orcs who build this, you would expect them to not align perfectly. So one door might be up here, the other one might be there, and then this one might be here, and so on. So it might have a much more random distribution. Also here I have to be careful because this is 1, 2, and then this is in the middle between 2 tiles. I do not want something like this to happen, so I need to redo this. So I need to get rid of those two. And that way they are properly connected. Okay, with this done, let's also get rid of this here because that is no longer necessary. And wait a moment. Haha. So this is something that I do frequently. Instead of saying 80 height and 65 width, I did it the other way around. So let's fix that, and now we actually have the right space down here. Since that is mostly a very large space down here, let's make it very easy. So we go 1, 2, 3 down, and put this down. Put this down. Wait, it's here. And how long is this? All the way to the living room. Okay, so I can just continue on and make it all the way to the living room. And then I can copy the elevator as is. Put that one here. And now I just need the armory and AI core, which are the same size as the captain's cabin and the kitchen. So I'll wholesale copy these and finish up with connecting the rooms up as such. With all of this done, I already have the foundation laid. Now the only thing that I still need to do is add in the walls. The walls is a really tedious thing to do, but I have to say it's worth it adding those. You might also want to consider adding those fancier types of walls to the side. That is something that I'll leave up to you to decide whether you like the super fancy walls or whether you like the more
stylized walls like this. What you can also do, of course, is you can move this one down and then have the stylized walls on top as such, or maybe even as such. Let's go for this and delete those. And then you can copy these to speed up the process. And now you just move through. I always try to finish one title type first and then move on to the next ones. That way I don't have to constantly swap back and forth between the two. And be careful, obviously you can override it, because if you draw like this doesn't look right. So you actually need to click individually. But if you want, you can just copy an entire section and speed this entire thing up as such. Yeah, too long. Okay, so get this done first. Copy a shorter version. Duck, duck, and here, and there, and don't forget this room, and then here I'll need to see how it looks like. I don't know yet. With that done, we'll move on and do the same thing for below. And I think I've done the mistake again. I have to keep this here. Let's get rid of this and boop, boop, boop. Now the reason why I keep this here free is the corners usually look different. So I need to figure out how I will implement corners. For the time being, I'll just leave it empty, hope for the best, and yeah, we'll see what I do about that. Sometimes I will have to scrap the original idea that I had of a map, because suddenly the corners no longer align properly. And if you have something overlapping like this, most of the time, if you just override it, it will still look fine. So I wouldn't be too bothered about this. Just put it down, see how it looks like. You can always do fine adjustments later. Okay, and we finish this one up. Okay. Now you can press Control Z to undo stuff. I tend to just delete it because I don't have my second hand on my keyboard at the moment. I'm just waving it around in the air, pointing at my screen often. So that's what I'm doing, like a maniac. Wait, there we go. And then we need the corner here. And we can copy this and put it down like this. And we can copy this. That was one too much. Put it down like this. Hmm. Oh, no, not fill it. Duck, duck. And this one, and then here the same game. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then we need, wait, we also need it over here. There are usually tiles for corners, so if you have them, use them. That makes such a huge difference on how it looks like, as you can see here. I might actually copy this wholesale and just paste it on top of what I've already have to get a clean looking connectors, or get clean looking connectors. Yeah, here I can paste it, and then the rest I'll have to keep as is, and then I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and the same thing on the other side. And then I just copy this and I'll move ahead. Can use it here. I cannot use it there. Wait a moment. Did I fail to count properly? 1 and then 1, 2, 3. No, that should be alright. Hold on a minute. There you go. Now it looks properly. Oh, and this one is shorter. Okay. Good. And now I'm slowly at the point where I'm just saying, okay, I'm getting diminishing returns with copying, so I'll just slog ahead and do the rest completely by hand. As I said, it is important that you first finish this step, get the basic layout done first, and then check what else you want to do, because this will ultimately make your map look a lot better. Here you see one of the problems. So a lot of those wall tiles, they are not available as corners. So you'll just have to say, okay, here it ends, or you continue on one more, and then you don't reveal the rest of the place. And then you get this weird stacking here. I might actually just get rid of them. Or, what could I do? Oh, actually, if I use them in conjunction with these metal plates, that would actually not look too bad, because I can stack those metal plates on top of each other. Don't forget, you as the DM get to decide how much you reveal of your map, so don't be too worried about how this looks like outside of the place where the players will actually move. I'll keep this free. I'll have to keep all of this free. This one can be connected as such. Let's fill all of this in. Let's see what we'll do about this. It's going to be all filled in. Or rather, there is no harm in filling this in. What's going on here? Bad flow. Let's write it again. We'll fill this in like this. We'll fill this in like this. Move this one over. And then probably have to get rid of this and just make it continue like this. It's not the cleanest cut, but I'll do. Okay. Wait, no. It is this one. So for example, I now also have realized that I've made a mistake, but it should still be working out fine since I've decided to add this on, but I don't think I've did it consistently for all of them. The grid might not align perfectly, but I'll figure that one out in no, actually it is the right size though, so I hope that all goes well. I'll have to see. Okay. Wait, let's not make a mistake here. This goes to there. No, this needs to be here, and then this needs to be actually one of those tiles. Because otherwise, this will not resolve itself properly. Or actually, wait, we'll put this one here into the right direction preferably. Put this one there, and then we can move over as such with the right tiles if I can. Yes, there we go. And then we do this, move one down, and connect up the corner. Perfect. Let's keep it as it was before, that looks better. I have here, we move on to here. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot now, it's basically just finishing up the map. But I think you get the idea of how this entire thing works. And then we go back to here, which requires one of these, one of those, and one of those. Well, it should be here. And connect up to this one, since this is where the wall is. And we are going to make the wall like this. Go down. Okay, and this. Okay, and then we have a continuous line of everything. Now, what do we do with those walls? Ooh, this does not look good. Let's get rid of those 4 tiles and fill it in with one of those metal blocks. Because they apparently look better if you use them as a connector. And I'll just add another metal block on top here. This is a lot of trial and error to see which way it looks the best. Always remember, you decide how much your player sees, so if something doesn't look quite the way you want it to look, just make sure you hide it from your player. Like, I'm not going to be too bothered about how this looks now. Just close it off. And then in Fantasy Grounds, I'll try to not reveal that part and hope for the best. And yes, for what I'm doing at the moment, I'm not going to add um, any objects. I'm only going to do the walls. Objects will be the next thing that I'll put on, but they get their own layer, so don't start prematurely with objects if you're not ready to place them yet. We'll do one of those metal blocks here again because they kind of rounded up nicely, and we'll do the same thing here again. Bop, bop. Oh, I wasn't done here. Good. I'm also not done over there. That will be the next one. And now I definitely know that I've done a mistake, but that's not too bad. I can fix that somehow. This is not too wide. Basically, this room is no longer the right size because I have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is already where it begins. It should be one further inside. Now I could just copy this entire thing, move it one in, and fix it that way. But nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as a reminder that I should be better in life. And then, okay, so let's move along here. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine, this goes around, this is fine. All of this is alright. I need to close this one up. Close this one up. Move here, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so the only part that is not done yet is that part here, which is very easily done. Bop, bop. Few corners. Here one, there one, there one, and there one. And then here the same game. We'll do this. We'll do that. Nope, we'll do the other way. That one goes here. That one goes there. So now this is tying around nicely, and everything is done here. And there we actually have quite a little bit of work still to do. So let's finish this up. Up. Then this goes here and here. This goes there and there. This goes here, here. This goes there and there. Then we can just copy this to put it here. Or we could if that was actually the same, but it's of course not. So you need to do this first, and then you can copy it over and put it there. And then for this one here, we need something like this. Here, 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 and oh god, and here. And then we need this for up here, and we need this for down there. And then it's just continuing on the tradition of going down here. Grab one of those. And now everything is enclosed. Now I just need to add those two walls. Zack, zack. That's good. And lastly, we'll get those metal bars. Place them. Okay, this looks like garbage. I'll only use those ones. So this, then this, then this. Move up like this. Copy this and do the same thing over here. And do the same thing over there. Get this one here to connect up all the way over there. There we go. And then we have our room's done. Next up will be the object layer. So to make new layers, you go up here to layers, say new tile layers, and I'll call this one ship, and I'll call this one objects. Now, if you want to be really cool and you have plenty of time, I would recommend you to add stuff like this occasionally in some of the rooms. Like, for example, the medical room might actually have those neat lamps, but as you can see, the tile sets don't match 100%, so I'm not going to do that because this will look awful. Or you could try the corners, maybe. No, the corners also don't fit. Well, then you would need to do the entire room, which is something that you can do, but I'm not going to do that now. So we don't have any objects here that I want. We do have objects there that I want, because we want this huge map right in the middle of this room. And then we want the consoles over in the com room. And then which other rooms do we have? We can put one of those consoles. Is there one that is nice? Top. That's Mad Girl dispenser for later. We could do something like this. Yes, that looks nice. Now, one of the major problems, usually you only see stuff in here upside down. So you'll have a hard time finding tiles that are the other way around, basically. Yeah, you'll just have to improvise. Sometimes it's enough to just place a chair down and say, well, the console is at the wall, and the way you're looking at that wall, you won't be able to see it. Is it cheating? Yes. Do I care? No. Anything else that I need from here at the moment? No. So let's move on. So that was the command deck. I've now put the comm systems here because I just like that room better. I'll figure out what I'll do with this room later. Whatever. It's not all that important. Then the elevator needs some kind of railing. So I will put this. I'll put this right here. So it actually looks like an elevator, and I'm going to copy this and place it on all of them. Is this elevator the right size? Wait a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. Okay, so I've done a mistake. What I have done is I've made this elevator too large. I actually only wanted it this size, and then in between here I wanted a wall like this. So now what I'll have to do is I'll have to quickly fix this. Stuff like this happens. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes you just need to brute force it. Kind of like this. And then obviously we need to get rid of this here. Now that you have this part, whoops, I did not want to delete this. Now that you have this part done, you can copy it and just paste it, and it should fit perfectly onto the other floors. So you don't need to redo everything. You can just take it as is, and also on the object layer you just need to remove this part, and that's alright. Now I'll actually have the same problem between all of these rooms. I'm not going to fix this now. I'll do that while we are playing. So I will just not reveal all, or not quite all of it. I'll just reveal the information that is important to them, and I'll say, oh yeah, there's a wall, you can look through that. Good. We were at objects. So I don't yet know what I'll do with this room. I'm happy with how this room looks like. Let's move ahead. We have the cells. Now there were these very fancy force fields. So I'm going to say that there are these force fields here. Oh, that's the wrong way. Wait a moment. That's the right way. What? That's the right way. There we go. That was more difficult than I thought. And there we go, all the way to the wall. What's going on here? Why do they not align properly? Very disappointing. Now, if you're a perfectionist, you would make sure that everything is proper and right. I am not a perfectionist. I do not have this time in my life, so I'm just finishing this up now. These are cells, and NPCs will be in there, and that will be the biotic special material thingy. Then the locker rooms need lockers. I think I've seen some lockers somewhere in this tile set. In emergency cases, I could use something like this as lockers. Ah, there we go. Those will do nicely. So I'll add another set, call it lockers. Preferably check it for the right typing, and that was sci-fi D. Add it in. And then I have my beautiful lockers, and I'm actually going to, oh, okay, that don't fit properly. So I'll just do those two here, possibly those two there, and that will be my lockers. Ooh, actually, I really like that light. Now, the medical room is here, so I'm going to say the medical room, when you come in, has this very fancy light. Because why the hell not? So yeah, sometimes I'll just look at something and say, oh, I want this, and then I'll try to figure out a way to put it in. Where were the sleepy rooms? Wait, that's not what I wanted. Here, living room, kitchen, cabin, quarters. Quarters are these, okay. So I'll put some beds in the quarters. Yes, again, I won't have any that are the other way around, so I just have to put them all into the same alignment. I wouldn't be too bothered about this. I've never seen any of my players complain about it not looking 100%. So yes, I don't mind. And then in the captain's quarters, you actually only need one item. So let's put that one item down and screw everything else, because who the hell cares about space and stuff? Wait, that was the kitchen, not where I wanted this. Let's get rid of it again. Lab is here. Yes, this is where I wanted this. So, because the lab will need this, and then we have these neat consoles at the wall. Let's put those down and put this one down. And can we get this one for the medical room? Anything else? Yes. The Met-Gal dispenser, which we were already talking about. And then what you can do is, if you have like one of those openings and you want to set down a door and you don't know how to do it, you can get one of those doors, and yes, it will look terrible, but at least it blocks the line of sight of them. So I wouldn't feel too bad of locking this down like this. I'm going to put doors on an even higher layer just to make sure that it's not overlapping with anything. So where were we? I was finishing up those rooms. I have the kitchen. Now, kitchen is tricky. I don't think I have anything in this tile set that will help me, or rather in this entire section of tile sets. I'll go to my furniture, and I might take some. Ooh, actually, that looks like a perfect kitchen. But it's the wrong size. I can fix this. It is 75%, I think. Is it 75%? Yes. And then I'll save this again. Oh God, where am I going here? Yeah, I can't get there any quicker than going through all of my wonderful folders again. God damn it. Furniture, and then it's TSV 32 by 32. Save. Okay, and now I just have to hope that this works. So, embed a map, go to tilesets, furniture, TS something. Wait, no, it was right at the beginning, right? TSP. Okay, no, TSP. Refresh. TSP. Drones tile V. What order is this in? Ah, not name. TSP 32 by 32. Okay. Oh. TSP 32 by 32. Okay. Embed a map. Now, if I've calculated this right, I can take it. And if I didn't calculate this right, it will look a little bit off, but I'll take it anyway. Maybe like... Can I get all of this in here? Oof. Okay, I'll just take this part and I'll leave this part out. I apparently didn't resize properly, but that's alright. Not too bothered about it. Can I get one of those sinks as well? Maybe one that doesn't look like garbage? Eh. Okay, I'll keep it as is. I'm fine with this. That's alright. And then I need some tables, and I can get some tables out of lockers maybe. Where are some tables? No. Consoles. Where are some tables? With control, zoom up or down. Okay. No tables. Well, we go back to this one here and search for tables. Preferably some modern looking ones, even though wooden tables like the one on this page here would be nice too. Nope. Are actually those metal tables down here? I like them. And that's 32 by 32. Okay, Ace Library Canvas. So I'll call that tables, browse, Ace Library Canvas. Okay, it's actually the first one. And we can, oh no, we cannot get rid of this one. We need it for later. And we take those fancy blocks, hopefully properly aligned, and just set down some tables like this. Let's get rid of any overhang that I accidentally added. Fix that one table here. Okay, that's good. And do we have seats? Yes, we do have some seats, and of course they overlap. That's really unfortunate. So the easiest way to get around that is just make a new layer and call it objects 2. And then you can just set it down, and as you can see, it no longer overlaps. So hey, we actually made tables. Woo! That will be the living room. I'm not really going to add anything more to that. I'm happy. Every room, if I look at it, I get a general idea what it's supposed to be. So we'll move on to the hangar and finish that one up. So what did we have down there? We had the AI core, the armory, and the power core. So we need something that looks like a power core. Actually, that might be the right point to use these tiles, or maybe even these tiles. I might make a multi-layer room here. Let's see how that would look. Probably pretty neat if all goes well. So, and then I'll just copy this and bop, bop. Move this one over, move this one down, a bit more, bop, bop. And put this one here. And then we'll put one of those glowy bits up here, the other glowy bit down there. And then what else do we have here? We already used those ones, so I can't reuse this one. We can't reuse that one. What we could reuse, or we could use in general, one of these ones, same distance to both of them, and that will be objects 2. I want this on top. Don't know if it really makes that much of a difference. And then on top of here, I want one of those crystals. Which ones looks the fanciest? Ooh, actually, can I get those ones on there? Yes, I can. So I'll do this, and then I'll have those ones underneath. Nobody will notice, I promise. Like this. Okay, this needs to move one up. Need to move one up, and we get rid of this. Nope, that looks terrible. Damn it. Okay, so this did not work. Let's put this as failure. I can always go back and find new tiles if the one that I want is not on there. Oh, there would have been some very nice lockers and a very nice kitchen. Might actually get that stuff. Oh man. I've used this a lot. A lot. Okay, yes. Okay, I'll give up. I'll just use that combination of these different colors because that actually worked out rather nice. Unless, how does this look like? That looks very, very wrong. Utterly and totally wrong. No, we'll not do that. Damn it. Oh. But we could do possibly something like this. Have it contain. No, I can't get it contained. I can get it contained. So let's get rid of this and let's get rid of this. Just to make sure that everything is cleaned up. And then let's close that hole again. And then let's use it in this orientation. Actually do objects 2, 3 first. Get back to, where was that fire? I had that fire just a second ago. Yeah, it's here. Use this one in here, just between the two, and then let's go back to here. So as you can see, label your goddamn tile sets properly. It will make your life so much easier. Don't do it like I do it, basically. what we can do is we can enclose it as such, and then it does no longer look completely unnatural. It only looks a little bit unnatural. And with that done, we have our power core established. Does it look a little bit garbage? Yes, but that's okay. I don't mind that. And then in here I only want those lockers because they look more like military lockers. And then I need some kind of computer core thingy. Actually, that's supposed to be stairs, I know, but they also look rather nice as servers. And then can I fit this in here? I can indeed fit this in here. Perfect. Okay, now what is left? We need to fit a ship in here or some kind of vehicle. I think I already seen one while going through here. That's still the furniture ones. Well, if all goes wrong, I can just use these. There we go. Sci-fi Tal B thumb. Okay. I'll call it spaceship. Better map. Sci-fi B thumb. Okay. And then let's see if this massive thing here fits. Will it fit? Any bets? Ha! It fits perfectly. There we go. And then new layer. Oh, not a copy. A new layer called doors will be the next one. I'm going to pick some doors. I'll pick, ooh, I don't know, those doors today. I am not too picky when it comes to doors. Oh, they are too small. Haha. And they are also not the right alignment. Okay, fuck these doors. They are not good. And we had some doors before. Let's just go to the beginning. No doors next. No doors. No doors. Kind of like something like a door, which I don't like the look of. Oh, those ones are nice though. Selenia Scilab. Okay. Okay, and let's see if it did it right or not, because that one looked a little bit fishy when it comes to. Nope, alignment is perfect. No problems there. So let's take those doors and plunk them down. And yes, I agree, those are not the most immersive doors, but they do the job. And that's all they need to do, in my opinion. Not so humble opinion. And then for this one, I'll do doors like such. And I'll do doors like such. And then, yes, I have that one turned around perfect. Because those ones are actually, it's actually how you come in from outside. And with that done, I'm relatively happy with this map. It has everything that I wanted to put down. I am not happy with this kitchen. I actually will change this kitchen now, because screw that kitchen. That kitchen is terrible. So I'm going to get rid of this, and it will tell me, oh no, can you really do that? And I'll say, yes, screw you, this is terrible. And then I think it was the one called Prison. Prison, prison, there we go. And that one actually had a really nice kitchen. Bam. Look at this beautiful kitchen, or actually, bam. What a wonderful, beautiful kitchen. We're done. I'll save. Also, I should have closed those two rooms. Give me my doors. Let me place them down and close off those rooms. And yep, that's it. I'll save this. And then what you would do is you go to File, export as image, and then save it as a PNG file. And you have this done. If it's too large for Fantasy Grounds, you can just resize it, because right now you have it at 4 times the size that you need it. So just do it like that. And yeah, that's it. That's how you make a map. And see you.